Hello, I'm Matthew Munoz. I'm actually going to be doing my presentation over the subway crisis that involved Jared Fogle. It was a pretty big thing that was created in light of Jared Fogle becoming a child pedophile, which was surprising to most people. Jared Fogle was a very famous person, if most of you remember. He began his career as a subway spokesperson in 1999, early 2000. He actually became really famous because of the trending diet of the Subway diet, in which he was able to lose, in essence, up to almost 200 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Um, he claimed to have only used Subway diets, which means he pretty much, ate strict health from Subway and made sure that when he was eating there, he definitely gave all the credit to Subway, which helped them kind of figure out a way to make him a spokesperson to help push their sandwiches and become pretty, I guess, pretty popular and pretty successful off of it. It lasted for 15 years. He, traveled from subway chain to subway chain, trying to pretty much put out there how successful you can be if you just eat healthy and put a little bit of time and effort into it. Jared Vogel's, for the most part, most of until 2015, he really was a normal person. That was a role model and inspiration to most anybody who wanted to lose weight and pretty much wanted to be involved in the idea of a healthy diet without taking away all the good stuff that you can eat. He, he was raised by a Jewish family. He was a successful. He went to college, graduated from college. He started a career and before Subway hired him, he was actually doing his own career with his degree that he got from Indiana State University. Um, with that being said, he became pretty successful as far as speaking on Subway's behalf. He made them very profitable. I think he rose their profitability up from 5% favorability all the way up to almost 40% favorability. There was a small period in 2011 where he actually was in a contract standoff with Subway, and their percentage dropped all the way from I think 41% all the way down to 12.6%, which was a pretty substantial drop considering how fast and trending it was while he was the spokesperson. In light of that, in 2015, it became relevant that he was a child pedophile and a child rapist. He was charged in early 2015 for soliciting the sex with minors, pedophilia, which is pretty much where you have some kind of a mental disease, if you will, and a very big attractment to minors who are non-puberty life yet. And pretty much it's just, it's pretty gross no matter where how you look at it. But overall, he was a child pedophile, and Subway cut all ties with him at that point. Once they heard any kind of relevance towards it, they tried to. They definitely wanted to hear him out, being that he was a spokesperson for him for 15 years. It's not one of those things where you just pretty much throw somebody out. With that being said, when the light came out that he was more than 100% going to be charged with being a child sexual rapist, pedophile, they definitely didn't want their company having any kind of ties to him, so they cut all ties to him. Towards late 2015, he pleaded guilty to all charges of becoming a child pedophile, soliciting the sex of minors. He was sentenced to 15 years and 8 months in prison. With that being said, he had to pay a restitution fine of $1.4 million. He's paying $100,000 to each victim that he was somehow tied down to. His wife divorced him and actually has a lawsuit against Subway as we speak, being that she feels they should have caught on a little bit sooner than they did. But Subway. Obviously, if anybody knew Jared Fogle, he definitely played the part very well. He was going around doing this for nobody can really tell you how long, but in 2015 it definitely came to light what he was doing, and therefore Subway definitely has responded very adequately with it. They've cut all ties with him. They want to keep the sacredness of their company behind them and not let Jared Fogle destroy the reputation in which Subway has grown to become. Overall, Jared Fogle, he was going to end up doing 13 years in prison before the eligibility parole. Subway plans to move on and move more towards the idea of professional athletes running as spokespersons for their food chain. It's still very successful. It's up to almost $4.1 billion annual revenue. So it's a very, very, very successful company. Jared Fogle definitely put a dent in who they are as a company, but at the end of the day, they definitely have stayed very successful. The biggest point of this video is just to put out there how big of how big a crisis it became for Subway. You know, it just goes to show that celebrities do try to, squeeze under the wings, if you will, to do things against the law that they feel they won't be caught for. At the end of the day, no matter how slick you may have been or think you can be, you definitely will get caught. Jared Fogel's a perfect example. Like I said, no telling how long he's been doing what he's done. The justice system has finally, focused in on him and definitely brought justice to all the victims that, he's harmed and the families that he's harmed, and, even, brought justice to Subway to get, an end to everything he's done to them. It definitely helps out. So I really appreciate all you guys taking time to listen to my video, and sorry it's late, but got a lot going on, so definitely appreciate all the stuff you guys have done for me. All right, thank you.